Hello, my dear friends. It's so good to be with you again. I imagine many of you are settling in with a warm cup of tea or perhaps just taking a moment to sit quietly and breathe. Thank you for being here, for giving yourself this time. Today, I want to talk about something gentle yet powerful, a shift that happens as we move gracefully into our 70s and beyond. After 70, life calls us to a different pace, a softer rhythm, one where we no longer measure our worth by how much we do, but by how deeply we savor the moments we have. It's a quiet invitation to slow down, to breathe, and to choose what truly matters over what simply fills our days. And my dear, it's time we listened. Today, I want to offer you something practical, yet profoundly freeing. I'm going to show you 10 common household chores that you can now let go of, gracefully and without guilt. Because at this beautiful stage of life, we no longer need to chase perfection in our homes. We deserve to chase peace in our hearts. Let me tell you about Helen. Helen is 74 years old, a woman full of kindness, wisdom, and quiet strength. For decades, Helen believed that a well-lived life meant a spotless home. She would scrub every tile on her hands and knees, wash every throw blanket after a single use, and polish every surface until it shined, all out of a deep sense of duty and responsibility. Week after week, she poured her energy into creating a home that was spotless, thinking that was what made her worthy, thinking that was what showed she was still capable, still in control. But one afternoon, Helen caught a glimpse of herself in the mirror. She was bent over, exhausted, her hands raw, her spirit tired. She realized something in that quiet moment. The perfect house she was chasing was not where her true happiness lived. It was not the sparkling floors or the perfectly folded blankets that brought her joy. It was the moments of laughter on the porch, the slow walks in the garden, the deep conversations over a cup of coffee. Those were the treasures she was missing. Helen chose that day to change. She chose to let go of the endless scrubbing and polishing. She chose to live lighter, freer, and more fully in the moments she had left. And today, I want to invite you to do the same. You are not your chores. You are not the polished floors or the dust-free shelves. You are your memories, the ones you've made and the ones you're still making. You are your laughter, your kindness, your gentle spirit that lights up every room you walk into. And you deserve a life that feels light and joyful, not weighed down by endless to-do lists. Today, let's walk together into a new chapter, one where our homes feel comforting and lived in, not perfect. One where we honor not just the spaces we live in, but the beautiful lives we've built inside them. Mistake 1. Moving heavy furniture to vacuum. For many years, it seemed like a silent rule in our homes. If you truly cared about cleanliness, you had to move every piece of heavy furniture and vacuum underneath it. Sofas, big chairs, bookcases, nothing was off limits. Even when the effort left our backs sore and our breath short, we kept going, believing that spotless hidden spaces somehow proved our dedication. I remember years ago struggling to push a massive couch across the living room floor, thinking to myself, if I don't do it, who will? I thought it was about pride, about standards, about keeping up the kind of home that guests would admire, even if they never once looked beneath the furniture. But let's pause here and ask an honest question. When was the last time someone visited you and complimented how clean it was under your sofa? Has anyone ever walked in and said, "Oh my, your bookshelf edges are dust-free. How impressive"? Of course not. Because no one notices those places but us. And the hidden truth is that we're sacrificing our bodies, our precious joints, our strength, our safety, for a task that carries no real reward. My dear friends, it's time to shift our perspective. Instead of risking a strained back or a painful fall, there are simpler, gentler ways to keep your home feeling fresh. One way is to invest in a small robotic vacuum, a quiet little helper that glides under furniture and picks up what matters without you lifting a finger. If a robotic vacuum isn't an option for you, that's perfectly fine. You can simply plan a thorough under furniture cleaning once or twice a year, maybe during your spring or fall refresh. A few dust bunnies hiding out of sight won't diminish your beautiful home, but injuring yourself could truly steal your joy. At this wonderful stage of life, every step we take, every move we make should be rooted in honoring the body that has carried us through so many years. Remember, your energy and your health are far more precious than any perfectly vacuumed patch of carpet no one will ever see. Let it go. Choose peace and protection over perfection. Mistake 2. Ironing bed sheets. Ah, the old ritual of ironing bed sheets. I know it well. There was a time in my life when I genuinely believed that a truly elegant home demanded sheets so crisp and flat you could bounce a coin on them. I would spend long afternoons in the laundry room, dragging out the heavy ironing board, battling the hot steam, carefully smoothing out every wrinkle and fold, even the stubborn corners of fitted sheets that seemed determined to fight back. I thought that somehow pressed sheets were a quiet symbol of care, of discipline, of a life beautifully kept together. But as time went on, and as the seasons of life changed, I started asking myself a question that changed everything. Why? Who was this really for? Guests never peek into our bedrooms to admire how wrinkle-free the bed is. Family members certainly never comment on how taut the duvet cover looks. And even if they did, within moments of crawling into bed, all that hard, sweaty effort was undone by the simple, beautiful act of living. The truth is this: beds are made for resting, not impressing. Sheets are meant to cradle your tired body after a long day, not exhaust you before your head even touches the pillow. So now, I offer you a different way, a softer way. When you take your sheets out of the dryer, do it promptly. Shake them out gently. Smooth them with your hands as you dress the bed, embracing the soft, natural folds that appear. They are not flaws. They are the textures of a real, beautiful life fully lived. There is incredible freedom in letting go of unnecessary burdens. No more standing over an ironing board for hours, chasing a standard that only exhausts you. No more believing that the wrinkles in your sheets say anything about your worth. Instead, every crease can be a reminder that your time and your peace matter far more than any polished surface. Your home is not a showroom. It's a haven, a place for comfort, for laughter, for sweet, quiet dreams. And that comfort, my dear, does not require a single ironed sheet. Mistake 3. Washing rugs and throws too often. There's a deep instinct in many of us, especially women who have cared for homes and families for decades, to believe that everything soft and beautiful in our homes must be constantly fresh, crisp, and perfect. That instinct served us well when we were raising children, hosting big family gatherings, or welcoming guests into a busy household. But after 70, when life asks us to slow down, we must also learn to rethink these old habits. And one of the biggest places we can start is with our rugs and throw blankets. I used to be the kind of woman who would wash every throw blanket and every rug the day after someone sat on it. A grandchild would curl up under a cozy knit throw during a movie night, and the next morning I would be hauling it into the laundry room as if it had been ruined. If a neighbor stopped by for coffee and brushed a foot across a small area rug, I'd convince myself it needed a full deep clean. But do you know what all that cleaning really did? It wore me out. It stole hours of precious time I could have spent talking, laughing, resting, or simply being present in the beautiful life unfolding around me. The truth is, rugs and throws are meant to be lived with, not displayed like museum pieces. They should feel soft, warm, and inviting. not sterile or stressed from endless washing. Washing heavy items like rugs and blankets too often doesn't just steal your energy. It damages the very fibers you're trying so hard to preserve. Colors fade, weaves weaken. The softness that once comforted you becomes brittle and thin. So today I offer you a new way. If a throw blanket smells fresh and looks clean, let it be. If a rug gathers a little dust or a wrinkle from daily life, know that it is simply bearing witness to the love and life shared in your home. Reserve full washings for true needs, visible stains, spills, or noticeable odors. Otherwise, a gentle shakeout, a light vacuum around the edges, or a spot clean is more than enough. Let your home whisper warmth and welcome, not shout for perfection. And remember, the people who matter most, your friends, your family, your dearest companions, they are not coming to inspect your floors. They come to be near you, to feel the love that fills your space. And that love does not live in pristine rugs. It lives in the life you've built, one soft, beautiful day at a time. Mistake 4, scrubbing baseboards by hand. There was a time in my life when getting down on my hands and knees with a bucket of water and a scrub brush to clean every inch of my baseboards felt like a necessary badge of honor. I thought spotless baseboards were the silent proof of a well-kept home, a small detail that separated good housekeeping from great. Every month, without fail, I would spend an entire afternoon moving along the walls, scrubbing every inch of trim with aching arms and stiff knees. I believed that if anyone glanced downward, even for a second, they would silently judge me if there was so much as a speck of dust. But now, with the gift of years and the wisdom they bring, I see it differently. No one, not a single soul, has ever come into my home and said, "What stunningly clean baseboards you have." Instead, they notice the laughter echoing in the rooms, the smell of fresh coffee brewing in the kitchen, the easy comfort in the air. No one cares if the bottom edge of a wall has a little dust. And frankly, neither should we. Scrubbing baseboards by hand is one of those chores that demands far more from our bodies than it returns in joy or value. Bending, kneeling, twisting, all to polish a part of the home that barely catches the eye. At a certain stage, that trade-off simply isn't worth it anymore. Instead, I invite you to take a lighter approach. Keep a long-handled duster tucked in a closet, a simple tool that lets you gently swipe away visible dust without straining your back or knees. Maybe every few weeks, when you're already dusting shelves or wiping down countertops, you can glide the duster along the baseboards. If you notice a scuff or sticky spot, a quick swipe with a damp cloth standing upright will do. Let yourself release the old burdens. Let the baseboards be what they are. A small part of a home that speaks far louder through your laughter, your hugs, and your gentle presence. Remember, no visitor has ever fallen in love with a home because of perfectly scrubbed edges. They fall in love with the warmth that lives within it. And that warmth comes from you, not from the floors. Mistake 5. Rushing to replace light bulbs. There was a time when the smallest flicker of a burnout light bulb would set me into immediate motion. No matter what I was doing, reading, cooking, or resting, the moment a light went out, I would fetch the stepladder, dig through drawers for a spare bulb, and fix it right away. I thought keeping every room fully lit, every corner bright, was a sign of attentiveness, of maintaining a perfect home. But what I didn't realize then was the silent toll it was taking on my body and my peace of mind. Climbing a ladder, balancing on your toes, stretching upward while holding a glass bulb. It might have been a small task when we were younger, but after 70, every movement deserves more care. Our balance is not what it once was, and a simple slip can lead to a fall, a sprain, or even something more serious. Is changing a light bulb the very moment it burns out really worth risking your health? Over the years, I have learned a gentler wisdom. Now, when a light goes out, I do not rush. If the room remains usable, I let it be until I have other tasks to do. Perhaps when family is visiting, when I am already planning a small project around the house, or when I have safe, steady help at hand. If the bulb is essential, I ask for help without shame or hesitation. Needing assistance does not make you less capable. It makes you wise enough to prioritize what truly matters: your safety, your well-being, your precious time. And sometimes, dear friend, a slightly dimmer room can feel cozier, softer, more peaceful. Light bulbs are replaceable. Your safety, your health, and your freedom to move comfortably through your home are not. Remember, life after 70 isn't about reacting to every small imperfection immediately. It's about choosing the rhythm that supports you best. So let the light bulb wait. Let yourself rest. And when the time is right, change it calmly, safely, with a heart full of gratitude for the light that shines within you, far brighter than any fixture ever could. Mistake 6. Deep cleaning garage, attic frequently. For many years, the garage and the attic were the forgotten battlegrounds of my home. Every few months, I would decide it was time to reclaim them, to dig through boxes, sweep away every cobweb, reorganize every dusty corner. I would spend entire days lifting heavy bins, climbing rickety steps, breathing in stale air, and trying to force these chaotic spaces into pristine order. And every time, without fail, within a few weeks, the clutter would creep back, the dust would settle again, and the endless cycle would start anew. It took me a long time to realize the garage and the attic are not showrooms. They are storage spaces. They are meant to be functional, not flawless. No visitor has ever walked through my garage and said, "Oh, what a beautifully polished shelf of paint cans." No one has complimented the perfect arrangement of holiday decorations or the gleam of an empty attic corner. These are places meant to serve life, not consume it. After 70, every ounce of energy we spend must be spent wisely. Crawling into dusty attics or moving piles of forgotten items in the garage for the sake of tidiness is a poor investment of our strength and our time. Instead of exhausting yourself on deep cleans that never stay perfect for long, take a more practical approach. Once or twice a year, do a simple safety check. Make sure there are no tripping hazards, no leaking containers, no pests or dangerous items left unattended. Clear pathways, label important boxes, and remove anything that poses a real risk. Beyond that, let it be. A little dust, a little disorganization. They are harmless. They are signs of a life richly lived, not of failure or neglect. Simplifying your relationship with these hidden spaces frees you to enjoy the parts of your home that truly matter. The sunny porch where you sip your tea, the cozy chair where you read, the kitchen where laughter bubbles up. A clean garage or attic will never comfort your soul the way a peaceful afternoon spent in joy can. Choose function over fantasy. Choose presence over perfection. And most importantly, choose to spend your precious energy on the living, breathing beauty of today, not on boxes of forgotten yesterdays. Mistake 7. Polishing silverware obsessively. There was a time when I believed that polished silverware was the hallmark of a truly refined home. Before every family gathering, before every simple Sunday meal, I would pull out the silver chest, unwrap each fork, knife, and spoon, and spend hours rubbing away the tiniest spots of tarnish. I told myself that shiny cutlery meant I was keeping up standards, honoring tradition, and showing respect for my guests. But as the years went by, a quiet question began to whisper in my heart. Who am I really doing this for? No one ever commented on the gleam of the knives. No one ever paused in the middle of a lively conversation to admire the polish on a spoon. What they noticed, what they remembered, were the smiles around the table, the laughter shared between bites, the warmth that filled the room like sunlight. They remembered the feeling of being welcome, loved, and truly seen. Polishing silverware obsessively took precious energy away from the moments that mattered most. By the time the meal began, my hands were sore, my spirit a little tired, and I had spent more time with my cleaning cloth than with the people I loved. Now, I take a different approach. I focus on the heart of hospitality, not the appearance of the table. I use my everyday utensils, the ones that are clean, sturdy, and ready for real life. And if I choose to use the silver for a special occasion, I give it a quick, gentle wipe, enough to honor its beauty without sacrificing my own peace of mind. Because, dear friend, your guests come for your presence, not your perfection. They come to share stories, laughter, and comfort, not to inspect the cutlery. Your silverware doesn't need to shine like a mirror. It's your smile that lights up the room. Let go of the endless polishing. Embrace the imperfect beauty of a table set with love. Focus not on the shimmer of spoons, but on the shimmer of joy in your heart. That is the real treasure. Mistake 8. Washing walls monthly. In my younger years, there was almost a sacred ritual about cleaning the house from top to bottom. Once a month, I would fill a bucket with soapy water, grab a sponge, and set about scrubbing the walls of every room. I imagined invisible critics lurking around every corner, ready to point out a smudge or a shadow of dust. And so I scrubbed until my arms ached, my shoulders stiffened, and the walls gleamed with a perfection that no one but I ever noticed. But here's the quiet truth. No one cares how spotless your walls are. Not the friends who drop by for coffee, not the family who gathers for Sunday lunch, not the neighbors who wave from the porch. They care about the warmth that fills your home, the easy welcome in your voice, the feeling of peace that wraps around them the moment they step through your door. The walls, dear friend, do not define your worth. A fingerprint by the light switch, a smudge where the grandchildren brushed by with sticky hands. These are not failures. They are signs of life, proof that your home is alive with love and laughter. Now, I clean my walls with gentleness and practicality. I spot clean where it matters. The places people actually see and touch, like around door frames, near light switches, or the hallway corners that catch everyday scuffs. Once or twice a year, during a calm spring morning or a cozy autumn afternoon, I might freshen up a little more deeply. Not because of guilt or pressure, but because it feels good to tend to the space I love. The rest of the time, I let the walls be. They hold memories now, not just paint. They have seen decades of living, of growing, of becoming. You do not need a perfect home to live a beautiful life. A house with a few marks and imperfections is a house with stories. And what could be more precious than that? Mistake 9. Organizing the pantry too often. There was a time when I treated my pantry like it was a miniature art gallery. Every label had to face outward, every can lined up by size and brand, every box and bag meticulously placed like pieces in a puzzle. Once a month, sometimes even more often, I would tear everything apart, scrub the shelves, check expiration dates, rearrange everything, and step back, exhausted but proud of the pristine display. But the truth? No one but me ever noticed. No guest ever opened my pantry door to admire the cereal boxes in perfect rows. No friend ever complimented my alphabetized spice jars. What they cared about was whether the coffee was warm, the laughter easy, and the welcome genuine. Over time, I realized that my energy, that precious energy that becomes more valuable with every year, was being spent on appearances that didn't feed my soul. I was creating a showroom, not a sanctuary. Today, my pantry is simple and functional. I know where my favorite teas are. I can reach the soup when I need it. Snacks for visitors or a cozy night in are easy to grab. And if the cans are a little out of line, If the crackers lean a little, I smile and let it be. Because life is not meant to be lined up perfectly on a shelf. Life is meant to be lived. Dear friend, your pantry doesn't need to impress anyone. It only needs to serve you. Prioritize easy access over perfection. Choose comfort over display. Your time, your peace of mind, your moments of real joy, these are worth infinitely more than straight labels and tidy rows. Let the pantry be a helper, not a master. Let it be a small corner of your life, not a heavy task on your heart. Mistake 10. Hand washing every dish every night. For many years, washing dishes by hand every night was my silent badge of honor. It meant I had completed the day. It meant I had done my duty. No matter how tired I was after cooking, after serving, after cleaning the table, I would stand at the sink, sleeves rolled up, scrubbing every pot and plate until the kitchen shone. It became so automatic, so expected that I never even questioned it. Not until the evening I realized that while I was scrubbing, the moments were slipping away. I missed lingering talks after dinner. I missed the quiet cup of tea by the window. I missed the easy laughter of family leaning back in their chairs, stories spilling out like warm light. I was busy rinsing away every crumb while the best parts of life floated past me. Now, I choose differently. I use my dishwasher every day without guilt. If a dish needs to wait until morning, it waits. If there's a plate in the sink when I go to bed, it's not a failure. It's a choice to rest, to breathe, to live a little softer, because your kitchen will still be there tomorrow. Your energy, your joy, your precious evenings, those are far more fleeting and far more sacred. You are not defined by the sparkle of your sink. You are defined by the sparkle in your eyes when you choose to nourish your soul instead of scrubbing until you're weary. Let the dishes wait. Let your heart rest. You have earned it 1,000 times over. My dear friend, if you take only one message from our time together today, let it be this. You are not lazy for letting go. You are not careless for choosing ease. You are wise for choosing peace. After a lifetime of serving others, building homes, raising families, caring for every detail with love, now it is your time to care for yourself. Gently, patiently, joyfully. Let go of the endless scrubbing, lifting, and perfecting. Let your days be filled not with chores, but with memories, not with obligations, but with ease, not with exhaustion, but with quiet happiness. The dust will settle, the dishes will wait. But the moments of laughter, the conversations, the sunsets, the simple deep breaths, those are what truly matter now. And you, beautiful soul, deserve every single one of them. If this message spoke to your heart today, I invite you to like this video. It helps more beautiful souls like you find this reminder. Comment below. What is one chore you are finally ready to release? I would love to celebrate that freedom with you. And share this video with a dear friend who deserves more peace, more lightness, and more joy in her days. You are not behind. You are not less. You are simply stepping into a new, beautiful chapter, lighter, freer, and filled with quiet grace.